Man United players baffled by Ralf Rangnick snubbing Marcus Rashford for Leicester draw. Manchester United players were reportedly left baffled by Ralf Rangnick for snubbing Marcus Rashford against Leicester on Saturday. The Red Devils went into the match at Old Trafford without the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Edinson Cavani and Mason Greenwood. But the England international still didn't make his manager's starting side, instead being left on the bench. It's been a nightmare season for United, who now sit 7th in the Premier League table and facing a campaign without Champions League football next term. And Rashford has epitomized their struggles, with the England international scoring just 5 goals across all competitions. Against Leicester, Rangnick decided to leave the forward on the bench despite being without Ronaldo, Cavani, and Greenwood. That move then backfired, with United looking flat throughout the showdown, with Rashford unable to make much of an impact after coming on in the second half. Now, the Manchester Evening News say certain members of the squad were left baffled by Rangnick for leaving the 24-year-old on the bench. And the mood around the club has now stooped to a new low. Want the latest football news? Join our brand new Facebook group by clicking here. United were poor against Leicester and were lucky to avoid defeat, with James Maddison having a late goal chalked off by VAR. There's a real sense they'll miss out on Champions League football now too, having lost more ground in the race for the top 4. Rangnick tried to put on a brave face after seeing United toil again and opened up on his decision to leave Rashford out of his starting lineup by saying, "With Marcus, it's no secret that he is not having his best time right now. It has to do with rhythm and confidence as well, and, yeah, again it's our job to help him to get this confidence back, and that is why I decided to bring him on. In the end, he has to do it himself obviously, but the only thing we can do is speak to him regularly and tell him what we expect from him and what he should do. The rest has to be done by himself." There are quite a few examples this season of players, some of them who are still here with us, and 1 or 2 of who are no longer here, who have shown that it is possible to develop within a couple of weeks a level of confidence where you can be a different player again. Don't miss Ronaldo has hinted at what he wants as Man United. Ten Hag Anthony comments suggest Ten Hag reunion at Man United is possible. Man United's best eye for next season. If Ten Hag signs 3 players, we all know that Marcus can play better, but again in the end the steps he has to take himself. Rio Ferdinand has also had his say on the matter. And the United legend, speaking on his YouTube channel, has expressed a belief that Rangnick's attitude towards Rashford is bad for the forward's confidence. "What must Rashford be thinking now?" he said. "Maybe there's new contract negotiations behind the scenes, but if you're him, you're sitting there thinking, wow, this gaffer doesn't fancy me. Think you know sport? Test your sporting knowledge with our tricky quiz. How can I stay here and sign this contract given the team would rather play without a striker than play with me? All the signs are so wrong. I'm not saying he's perfect or played particularly well the last few weeks, but at the same time it's the wrong signal. Forget everything else. If I'm Rashford, I'm looking and thinking this guy does not rate me. He doesn't see me as anything if he's going to play 2 midfielders up front instead of me." United are next in action against Everton. The Toffees won't be easy despite their bad form, however, having taken points off the Red Devils earlier in the season. United then face Norwich, Liverpool, Arsenal, Brentford, Brighton, Chelsea, and Crystal Palace before the season ends. And for the club, that can't come quickly enough. United previously finished 7th under David Moyes in 2014. And the Scot was then relieved of his duties, with Louis van Gaal coming in as his replacement.